morning, everybody. Morning, morning, morning. Hey. Oop-a-doop-a-doop. You know what I was just thinking, you guys? I was just thinking, like, wow, I can't believe we're almost done with this book. And then I was like, oh man, I gotta get the third one in the series. And then I remembered I don't have to worry about that because when I got the last one, I was smart and I got 2. So we're ahead of the game as far as that goes. The other one's already... Why did I do that? That's not where that goes. You watched that, right? That was silly. That's not where that goes. That's very exciting, so have fun. I'm gonna wash this now because it doesn't go well with the little gears. Ah, beans. Sheesh. Oof. Yes, me too, Naisa. Me too. That was really something. I'm sorry about the green clay fiasco. Our assumptions were more fun than the truth. I agree. I wish that had just been a funny prank. I love a good prank, especially like a harmless, you know what I mean? Like, you guys know I love a harmless prank. Love a harmless prank, and that would have been a totally harmless prank. So I would have been all for it had it been a prank, but instead it was a scam. And I don't love a scam. There's no such, no such thing as a harmless scam. A harmless prank, great, we love it. Can Patreons do putty tonight? Yes, absolutely. All Patreons should do putty tonight. Yeah, y'all voted for it, so you should come join, have fun, play slime making with us. Yeah. Everyone except for the community and AD tier gets access to classes. I wish it had been Becca. Honestly, Sloth, I do. Wouldn't that have been better for all of us? Yeah, go get you your supplies, Anya. Target's going to be your best bet. Yeah, Grabback can do it. Yeah. I wish it had been Becca, Sloth. I'm with you. I am with you. Wholeheartedly. I would have broken before now. That's true. She wouldn't have been able to hold the secret that long. But it would have been funny, Becca. See, here's the thing. If it had been Becca, we would all be laughing, and it would be, like, silly and great and whatever, you know? Do you guys want to, like, put on your bingo card how many minutes until someone comes in here and tells me to brush my hair? How long do you think it's going to be until someone tells me I need to brush my hair? We have about an hour in book club every day, usually. It's the cups all over again, but worse. The cups were great. This is not great. The truth is just sad. The truth is a scam. You're right. It's just sad. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I didn't buy anything because we're in San Diego. Yeah. I would go to Target, Anya. I think Target will have everything you need for today. You can get contact solution. You can get a couple of small bottles of clear glue if you need. You can get borax if you need it. Or you can get, good morning. She did that on purpose. Oh, she knew it would get me. Yes. 2 seconds. Hey, Sasha, brush your hair. You're very funny. I can't brush my hair. You know it. You have curly hair too, Anya. You know how curly hair works. Good morning. Good morning. We danced all night through. Good morning, my darling, to you. Whose kids are still in school? Whose kids are out of school? Hey, Brittany, long time no see. How are your parents? Whose kids are going to be joining? Brushing curly hair is a death sentence. Agreed. I accidentally typed I would never, so there's that. I wouldn't never. It's true. You wouldn't never. That's so true. I do. Brush means floof central. Yes. Hey, Ellie. Brush does mean floof central unless your hair is wet. It's true. Last day with my family, we're going to water park. That's fun. I love that. When I get to brush your hair, I have super... Yeah. My kids are gone. Bye. Get out. Whose kids are joining book club starting soon? At least it's a kid-friendly book right now, right? Maybe we should do only kid-friendly books all summer, and then the kids can just join all summer. I don't know. Tuesday. My dog joins every morning. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. Who else has their dog with them at book club? And what kind of dog is it? And will you send pictures? These are my questions. Don't do that, Becca. That sounds terrible. We're on the road to Atlanta right now, and she's zoned out. Goodbye. Oswald is here today because I'm working from home. Yay! Hi, Oswald. Does he recognize my voice still? Is he like, oh, I know her? I told them I have to be back by 7:30 this evening because I will not be missing class. That's amazing. I love that. Graduation moving up ceremony. Oh, I have 2 puppies. I should swim a multi-pool if we'll fix a Patreon. Yes, do it. The cat joys everywhere. We love it. We love it. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to yawn on the cat. Avery, I don't know if you know this, but my brother is a very serious cat dad. Like very serious. My brother and sister-in-law have 3 cats, and they have a stroller for their cats. These are 2 30-year-old people that have already graduated to stroller for the cat. What do we think is gonna happen to them? I turned off my headphones and I was like, oh, hi, Ozzy. How you doing, baby? Like, isn't strollers for a cat like an old person thing? I know I'm being serious though. Like, isn't that something people don't do until they're old? They're both 30. Yeah, okay, backpack. I could see like taking them somewhere. They have strollers for their cat. I did a stroller for my cat, but she hated it. Their cats love it. They take them everywhere. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not an old person thing. Maybe it's a normal person thing. Waylon is very much a cat dad, and we do not have a stroller for ours. Yeah, my brother is a cat dad. My sister-in-law, even on, wait for it, on Father's Day, my sister-in-law put the cat in the stroller and took the cat to visit my brother at work for Father's Day. Let that sink in for a second, you guys. She put the cat in the stroller and took it to visit its dad for Father's Day at work. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, they're an adorable couple. They're the sweetest. I love them both. But, like, those are your children, not that. Yeah, they are their children. That's right. I would totally do that for my husband. That's amazing, Claire. I love it. I love it. I love that there's some people that are like, absolutely not, and others that are like, yep, yep, yep. So, I mean, that's the line, though. You know, a catio is great. I think Karen has a catio. That's amazing, Des. It's just different for cat people. Yeah, you guys, if you want to follow 2 cat people through and through, follow my brother and sister-in-law because secret husband, what he says whenever we see that my brother has posted a story. But seriously, since cats are demons, shouldn't we see a production of Cats Were Demons? I think so, Brian. I think you should pitch it. Every time we see that my brother or sister-in-law have posted a story on Instagram, secret husband goes, okay, what do you think it is? Do you think it's the other one, like Ben or Rowan, depending on who's posted? Or do you think it's their cat? Hey, Lauren, I'm Sasha. So if you guys want to see a lot of pictures of 3 really lovely boy cats, follow my brother and sister-in-law on Instagram. I think if I put my cat in a stroller, he would be so mad at me. Their cat takes it. He loves it. He just goes with them places. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I had a good cat for many, many years that would have loved a stroller. Roxy, if you go to my Instagram, I follow them and I can link them later today on Instagram. Hey, Grace. We need to know your sister's thoughts on that. Yes, we do, Brian. You're right. I'm going to see my sister next week at my niece's birthday party. I will ask her if you remind me, Brian, send me a DM so I don't forget. And I will literally make a video with her because this is, you know, Brian knows, everyone knows, Phantom is my sister's bread and butter. It's her everything. So we will ask. Fred and George were the best cats. I agree. Yes. Fred was a very easy cat. Very easy cat. No, it's coffee actually, Lauren. I make coffee every morning for book club. Who else has their coffee ready to go? Which one had the toxic sneezes? Fred. Fred had toxic sneezes, but it wasn't his fault. He was born on the streets of Brooklyn and he came with a disease and I had to bring him back to life. My dog would love to ride in a stroller, but she's too big for that. What kind of dog is it? I still have to make mine. Oh my gosh, I don't wait. I do it first. I get up. I get as ready as humanly possibly needs, not including brushing my hair because you can't. And then I go, the disease was big. Brian, Brian, you need to talk to Secret Husband. He dislikes cats the way that you dislike cats. He calls them parasites. So bad. My oldest cat is trained to travel in the car. Yeah, so was Fred. Fred was really good about going in the car. He was great. She's a lab mix or something else. We want to get possibly a lab mix. Yeah. He actually doesn't call the cats themselves parasites. He says that cats give you parasites in your brain. And I thought you were going to say, what's this? Do you think what's going on here? You fixed it? What did I say? I remember snot being on the wall of the apartment when he sneezed. I know. He sneezed the craziest snots out. It was crazy, this cat. They do, and that's why I love them. They do. They give you cat parasites in your brain, and they make you love them. Yeah. I mean, I loved my cat. Okay. He's half gold noodle and half labradoodle. That sounds like a great combo. Probably very smart. Does something in litter make you crazy? I don't know, maybe. How do you not know that you always say about the stray hair? Oh, what's going on here? Oh. Do I say that? Yeah, I bet he is, Lauren. That makes sense. Oswald has learned to love cats. I have tolerated our 2 cats. Uh-oh. Ellie has not got the cat parasites, but Oswald has got the cat parasites. Okay, let's read. So to all the new people, welcome. We are currently reading A Tale of Witchcraft. We're about halfway through, a little bit less than halfway through this book. It's our favorite series here in book club. Well, it's an extension of our favorite series here in book club. I shouldn't say that the Tale of Magic, Tale of Witchcraft series isn't necessarily our favorite on its own, but like in conjunction with the Land of Stories and everything. I mean, I love them both. I can't choose between them. That's why I refuse to do that. But this is book 2 in the series. If you have not, you like this one more, you think that's okay, everyone's allowed to make their own decision. If you're not caught up, feel free to stay with us today anyway, and the other days are on YouTube so you can listen back. It's our favorite world to live in. That's exactly right. Thank you, Naisa. Thank you. Yeah. So let's do it. So in case you were not here yesterday, day before yesterday, Lucy and Bristol got in a big fight, big fight, which sad. And then Lucy left and accidentally wandered into the Ravencrest School of Witchcraft, and she's been there overnight now. So let's see what happens. Maybe she's gonna stay. Maybe she's gonna go back to the fairies. I don't know. This is called Chapter 7, A Mischievous Little Creature. Even though Lucy hadn't slept a wink the night before, she was having a terrible time adapting to the witch's nocturnal schedule. She tossed and turned for hours in her nest, but she couldn't get comfortable. Apparently, nests had to be broken in like a new pair of shoes. Even worse, all her roommates snored like wild animals. Their constant belches and flatulation sounded like an orchestra of wind instruments that never stopped. When it was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Lucy decided to search for a softer bed. She quietly snuck out of the witch's bedroom and tiptoed down the windy hall of the 11th floor. The hall eventually split into 3 directions, and Lucy didn't know whether to take the spiral stairs going down, the crooked ladder going up, or the bridge that zigzagged ahead. As she weighed her options, Lucy had the unsettling feeling of being watched. She turned to the parchment wall beside her and jumped when she made eye contact with a dark figure that was glaring. Also, I didn't mean that to be creepy. I just think you'd be weird in many versions I have. So, wait, I didn't hear what you said, Brian, and I would never take anything you say as creepy. I don't think my friends are creepy, but I missed it. I'm so sorry, Brian. What did you say? Are you talking about the Cats show? Is that what you're talking about? I'm all in. Let's do it. You know me. I'll jump on. Yeah. They could be demons. DM your address so I can send you a mini cup. Oh, yes, absolutely. I will do that. Remind me, though. Remind me, because when I get off lives, I have a tendency to literally lose all brain cells. So just shoot me a DM now, because I can't, since I'm on live, that just says address so that it reminds me, and then I'll do it as soon as I get off. Oh, hey, old Billy, Lucy said. You scared me. The goat didn't move, but Lucy knew that it was her from the liveliness in her illustrated eyes. Do you know where I could find a normal bed? Lucy asked. I mean, there's got to be a mattress in one of these 77 rooms, right? The illustration just stared at Lucy as if it was looking into her soul, and then it slowly nodded.
Would you mind showing me where it is? Lucy asked. I'll sketch you a big juicy patch of grass as a thank you. Old Billy suddenly sank through the floor and descended to the 10th story below. Lucy hurried down the spiral staircase to catch up with her, and she followed the goat through the manor like she was being led through a giant maze. Old Billy took her down to the foyers that were slanted like slides, over walkways that were humped like camelbacks, and through corridors that were built completely upside down. They eventually came to a tall hallway with dozens of black doors that covered the walls like a checkerboard. Old Billy moved through the wall and brushed her horns against the door in the center of the farthest wall. So I'm assuming there's a bed behind that door? Lucy asked. The goat nodded eagerly. Lucy found a scaly armchair in the corner of the hallway and used it to climb into the open doorway. Once she was through the door, Lucy discovered a frightening office behind it. All the furniture and fixtures, from the desk to the chandelier, were made from human skulls. The walls were decorated from floor to ceiling with black masks, and each one was uniquely terrifying, as if they were all screaming with different expressions of pain and fear. Nope, Lucy muttered to herself. No mattress in this nightmare. As she climbed back out the door, Lucy saw something moving out of the corner of her eye. She looked up and saw that a door behind the skull desk had opened on its own. It was only opened a crack, but filled the office with an orange glow. The light was alluring, and before Lucy could talk herself out of it, she'd crept across the office and peered inside. The door led to a long closet lined with shelves made from charred wood. Hundreds of glowing jack-o'-lanterns were displayed on the shelves, and every single pumpkin was carved with a different, lifelike face. Lucy thought it was a strange collection to keep in a closet, so she stepped inside for a closer look. She peeked inside a few of the jack-o'-lanterns and saw that a black candle was burning inside each of them, and that the wicks were burning at different heights and speeds. At the very end of the closet, set on a shelf of its own, was a pumpkin carved with the face of a young woman. As soon as Lucy laid eyes on it, the jack-o'-lantern gave her chills. The young woman was eerily familiar. It wasn't a face Lucy had seen many times before, it was a face that Lucy had seen many times before, but she couldn't recognize who she was off the top of her head. Lucy knew that the young woman's name would come to her if she just concentrated long enough, so she leaned down and studied the carving. Ah, gotcha. Lucy whipped around and saw that Harriet was standing in the office behind her. The young witch's eyebrow was raised with so much suspicion that it was practically floating above her forehead. Her nose twitched so wildly that Lucy thought it might fly off her face. Harriet, what are you doing in here? The real question is, what are you doing in here, Lucy? Lucy shrugged. I was looking for a mattress. Save your lies, Harriet exclaimed, dramatically pointing at her. As soon as I saw you were missing from the bedroom, I knew you were up to no good. And now I have proof. The fairy godmother sent you to Ravencrest to spy on us. What? No, I'm not a spy. You expect me to believe that you stumbled into Mistress Mara's private study by accident? Lucy's eyes grew large, and she nervously glanced around the chamber. Wait, this is Mistress Mara's private study? She asked in disbelief. Dang, I should have known from all the creepy masks. She decorates like an actor going through a breakup. Don't act so innocent, Lucy. I'm not as dumb as you think I am. Harriet, if you were half as dumb as I think you are, you wouldn't be able to stand and talk at the same time. But that's beside the point. I promise you, this is a big misunderstanding. Honestly, I didn't even know I was on the 7.5th floor. Mistress Mara! Mistress Mara! Harriet shouted into the manor. No, wait, Lucy pleaded. I'm telling you the truth. Mistress Mara! Mistress Mara! Suddenly, the study's windows were burst open by a powerful wind. The sound startled the girls, and they both dropped to the floor. A cloud of smoke seeped inside and floated to the center of the room. The smoke began to swirl and grow thicker and thicker, and soon Mistress Mara appeared in the midst of the smoky vortex. What are you two doing in my study? The witch roared. I was right, Mistress Mara, Harriet said as she got to her feet. The fairy godmother sent Lucy to Ravencrest to spy on us, and I caught her peeping around your private chambers. Lucy, how dare you? Mistress Mara hollered. I gave you a place to stay, and this is how you thank me? Lucy knew that she was in serious trouble. She wanted to tell Mistress Mara that old Billy had brought her down here, but the witch had specifically warned Lucy to stay away from the goat. I didn't know it was your study, I swear, she said, and she quickly thought of a different excuse. It's just my specialty for trouble. It's always sending me places I shouldn't be. She lies even worse than she spies, Harriet declared. Don't believe a word she says, Mr. Marr. She broke the rules and she deserved to be punished. Punish her! Punish her! Punish her! Harriet was rabid with excitement, and an evil smile grew under her twitchy nose. Lucy curled into a fetal position on the floor while she waited for Mistress Mara's punishment. But to the girl's surprise, the witch's anger faded to be replaced with curiosity. Did you say you have a specialty for trouble? She asked. Lucy nodded vigorously. Yeah, I've been causing trouble and unfortunate things to happen for as long as I can remember, she said. Actually, before I can remember. Really? Mistress Mara said. Do tell. Oh gosh, where do I begin? Lucy asked herself. For starters, when my mother was pregnant with me, a flock of ravens gathered outside my family's home and didn't leave until the night I was born. And then, when I was a baby, I caused all kinds of weird things to happen around the house. I made frogs appear in the bathtub every time my mother tried to bathe me. I used to levitate out of my crib when I took naps, and I even turned my stuffed animals' button eyes into real life that blinked and stared at people. And it only got worse when my family went into show business. I'm sure you've heard of the world-famous Gousset troupe. Yeah. No, Mistress Mara said. Not even once, Harriet said. Lucy frowned. Well, you weren't a target demographic anyway, Lucy scoffed. Whatever. My specialty would really show itself whenever we performed for tough crowds. This one time we were in a pub in the Western Kingdom, and when the audience started to boo us, I accidentally turned all their drinks into dog urine. And another time we were doing our act for the aristocrats in the Northern Kingdom, and a lady yawned during my tambourine solo, and I turned her hair into snakes. And then one night, we were doing a gig in the Southern Kingdom, and at the end of our performance, the theater manager refused to pay us, so I made the whole theater collapse. My, Mistress Mara said. How delightfully ghastly. Yeah, my parents were worried something bad might happen to me if I stayed on the road, so they sent me to live with the fairies, and the rest is history from there. All these incidences happened unintentionally and without any magical training whatsoever? Mistress Mara asked. Yeah, Lucy said with a sigh. But even when I'm not causing trouble, trouble has a way of finding me. My specialty is what guided me through the woods to your school, and now it's guided me directly into your study, so please don't be angry with me. Mistress Mara did not seem angry at all. In fact, she was fascinated by everything that Lucy had told her. The witch quietly rubbed her pale chin like she was deep in thought about several things all at once. We mustn't punish people for what they can't control, otherwise we would be no better than mankind, Mistress Mara said. You're forgiven, Lucy, but just this once. Ah, gee, thanks, Lucy said. I promise it'll never happen again. Mistress Mara turned to Harriet, scowling with disappointment. Unfortunately, the same thing cannot be said about you, Harriet, she said. Me? Harriet gasped. What did I do wrong? Lucy may have accidentally broken the rules, but you intentionally disobeyed me by following her into my study, she said. I'm sorry, my dear, but it's you who deserves the punishment. Mistress Mara crept toward her, and Harriet fearfully backed away. But I was only trying to protect the school, Harriet proclaimed. I warned you about sticking your twitchy little nose in other people's business, Harriet, the witch said. If my words aren't enough to teach you a lesson, then perhaps a curse will. Mistress Mara pointed at Harriet, and the young witch was surrounded by a whirlwind of black smoke. As the smoke spun around her, Harriet's appearance started to change. Her purple braids shrank into wispy ears. Her skin was covered in dark fur, and her twitchy nose turned into a snout. Harriet tried to run away, but she tripped as her hands and feet turned into paws. She tried to scream, but a growl came out of her instead, and in just a few moments, Harriet had completely transformed into a lynx. Now, get out of my house and join the other animals outside, Mistress Mara ordered. Horrified, Harriet jumped out the window and climbed down the side of the manor to the graveyard below. A jack-o'-lantern appeared on the floor where Harriet had been standing, and it was carved with a lifelike depiction of Harriet's face. Mistress Mara hummed a pleasant tune as she scooped up the pumpkin off the floor and put it with the others in her closet. Whoa. Lucy was mortified at the whole ordeal and was too frightened to speak. Don't be scared, Lucy, Mistress Mara said. Harriet made a grave mistake, and I wouldn't be a good teacher if I didn't enforce consequences. As long as you follow the rules of the house, you'll have nothing to fear. Besides, Harriet's pompous attitude was starting to get on my nerves, and it'll be nice to have a break from her, honestly. How long will Harriet be a lynx for? Lucy asked. Oh, 100 years, Mistress Mara said. 100 years? Lucy gasped. Lessons are like stones. The harder and heavier they are, the more they'll sink in. So are all the lynxes outside people that you cursed? Well, my techniques may seem cruel, but I'm doing them a favor, the witch said. Now, they have a century to reflect on their poor decisions, and when they transform back into people, they'll be better people than they were before. And the pumpkins, are they some sort of curse record? Mistress Mara smiled. We'll save that information for another time, she said. Trouble may have guided you to my study, Lucy, but I believe you were guided to my school by something much greater. I'm confident that Ravencrest can offer you more than the fairies ever could. That is, if you're willing to be adventurous. Lucy was too afraid to turn the witch down. Yes, sure, she said with a nervous quiver. It'll give me something to do while I'm here. Splendid, Mistress Mara said. Now, you should get back to the 11th floor and try to get some sleep while you can. Your and Pip's introduction to witchcraft begins tonight, and I'll meet you and the other girls in the graveyard after dusk. Lucy nodded and hurried out of the study, but Mistress Mara stopped her when she was halfway through the door. Oh, and Lucy, just one more thing before you leave, the witch said. Don't take the mercy I showed you today for granted. If I catch you anywhere near this study again, you'll be spending the next 100 years hunting mice with Harriet. Is that understood? Lucy gulped. Yeah, mistress, yes, she peeped. Once she was out of the study, Lucy ran through the manor until she found her way back to the 11th floor. She was panting so hard that Lucy was afraid she might wake her roommates, so she leaned against the bedroom door and slid to the floor while she caught her breath. As she rested, Lucy spotted something moving out of the corner of her eye, and she saw old Billy standing in the wall beside her. What the heck is your problem? Lucy whispered. I asked you for a bed, and you almost got me cursed. The illustration beamed with confidence as if the goat knew exactly what she had done. Well, Lucy asked her, did I do something to offend you, or do you just put people in danger for fun? Old Billy stared at Lucy for a few moments of silence, like she was trying to communicate something telepathically. Lucy could tell the goat had a reason for sending her to Mistress Mara's study, but she couldn't figure out what it was. Bye, Grace. You're trying to send me a message, aren't you? Lucy asked. There's something in that room that you wanted me to see, isn't there? The goat walked down the hallway and disappeared from sight, but her confident gaze remained on Lucy as she went. Mistress Mara had warned Lucy that old Billy was a mischievous little creature, but there was obviously much more than mischief on her mind. Dun, dun, dun. Well. Whoa, I did not see that coming. I did not think that Mistress Mara was going to turn the students into a cat. After our cat discussion, I know, that's why I looked to see how long the next one was, Becca, but it's long. We had a cat discussion, and we willed cats into existence. That was chapter 7. That was chapter 7. I need to upload the rest today. I'm a little bit behind on uploads, but I will get that done today. Don't forget, we have putty class tonight. It is at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I will put up a link on Patreon later this afternoon. It will be a locked live. Yeah, it does seem a bit excessive. I agree. Yeah, it's a little bit much. Maybe just like an afternoon or like 2 days. I don't know. So that is what's going on there. And what else? I think that's it. I even went into work early today to get home by 5. Oh, that's exciting. Yes, I hope everyone has their ingredients. This is the one class where we can't really replace any ingredients. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people are like, oh, I have this instead. Can I use this instead? Blah, 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 blah. Can you list what type of contact solution besides Kirkland? Unfortunately, Roxy, I can't because Kirkland's the only kind I've ever personally used. You can try other ones if you're feeling brave, but I personally have never used any other ones, so I can't speak to any other brands. Although you're welcome to ask in the chat on Patreon what everyone else has used and see what they like. There, we have other people who have used other ones there, and they could probably answer better, but I only have the one. Hey, Kyler, how's it going? How are you feeling? Chugging along? The mansions in Malibu keep shocking me. The mansions in Malibu. Yes, they're humongous and wild and beautiful. It's true. Are you driving by those right now, Anya? I saw online that Renew worked well. I believe that, yeah. I didn't get that one because it was a little expensive. I'm okay, pretty in-depth ultrasound yesterday. Oh yeah, how was it? The reason I get the Kirkland one is because it's the one that works the best without being super expensive. It's like reasonably priced for what it is. A lot of contact solutions are very expensive. It's like a mansion, Ada mansion. We're having breakfast here. Oh yeah. They're all pretty big and wild. Little guy was not happy about it, but it went well. Just bullied me the entire time. That's funny. That's funny. He was like, "Listen, mom, punch, punch, punch." That's silly, but sweet. All right, guys, I gotta hop because I gotta get ready for tonight. I will pack a bunch of orders and take them to mail for you all before. The cheap ones are just saline solution, so you have to be careful. Right. Yes, you can't just use saline solution. It has to be contact solution with boric acid in it. Yes. That is 100% correct. Yes, not saline. That will not do anything. All right, I will see you guys tonight. We have class and it will be fun. Bye, friends.